G'day and welcome to Aussievision. Today we'll be discussing the UK's entry for Eurovision and how we think it'll go with both jury and televote in the contests. So, of course, we have the UK this year have brought back James Newman and he'll be singing Embers. So joining me will be some of our Aussievision team to help me dissect this one. What we're going to do is talk about the jury score to start with, guys. So in 3, 2, 1, if I can get your scores out of 10. Okay, so we're all about in the same pocket with this one for the jury. Okay, we'll start with perhaps our lowest rater, which is Liv. It was a 6, was it?
It was a 6.
Yeah, okay.
Solid 6.
Oh, right, a solid 6. Talk us through that one.
Look, it's I can imagine it on the radio at some point in history, and it is a nice little tune, and I can imagine a few jury members just, having it solidly up there in the 10s. So I don't see it smashing a jury, but I don't see it really tanking, and, for me, that's a 6.
Yeah, fair enough. Now, one of our other raters there, was it you, Steve, that gave it the next score up?
7 from me.
All right, let's go with you. 7. It's pretty good.
I think he has a great vocal, which is obviously something that the juries are going to be looking for. I agree with Liv that it's not the most current thing ever. However, some of the jurors aren't necessarily also voting for the most current music. So I think that will stand in his favour a little bit. Performance-wise, we have no idea what he's going to do. So, I almost put 6.5. I edged it up to 7. Just not quite sure. That's the question mark for me, because although he's a great performer, this song needs some movement, and I'm not quite sure how they're going to get that into it. And I'm not sure it will be through him. It will probably be through some backing. I just hope they don't put him on his own on a stage, because if they do...
Yeah, presentation is going to be really important and intriguing with this one, and we really haven't seen anything so far. Kyriakos, jury score from you was
7. And
7.
I have to agree with what Liv said. I've got here the song is nice, and it is radio friendly to some extent as well. But I've got here also, I don't expect it to flop with the juries either. It's just how high up it gets. I'm not too sure, but yeah, it's a nice song with some catchy elements that maybe have small amounts of bait for the jury.
Yeah, I'll kind of agree with that as well. We've seen juries kind of reward these radio kind of songs recently. Is this on the top echelon of radio songs? Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. And again, we do have those question marks about presentation, etc. I'm also on board with if I was a jury member, am I putting this at the pointy end? Or is it just sneaking in for a 1 or 2 somewhere along the line? And I think that's why we're getting that kind of average score. I think we're all on the same page with that one. All right, let's talk about Televote on this one. And let's see your scores in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Again, we're getting around that sort of midfield. Let's start with one of our higher raters this time. Kyriakos, you were one of our higher ones there, were you?
Yeah, I really think Televote might take this more on board. It's also great to see an artist like James Newman represent the UK. Hopefully this continues on with having more bigger and bigger artists, not being afraid to make an entry for Eurovision and represent the UK as well. And I really see that there'll be a bit more appeal with people watching.
Yeah, fair enough. And let's go with you there, Steve. What was your score on that one?
Mine was a 6. I think I approached this, as you can probably tell by my accent, in a kind of slightly pessimistic British way. I do feel Britain, the UK, does sometimes have to do that little bit more to get the attention in terms of televote. So as much as I think and I agree, it's a nice song. If this was a nice song from another nation, I feel, with like a friendly nation, it's got neighbours, and I think it might get some votes. But Australia maybe, Ireland maybe, not got many friends in Europe at the moment. That's my concern. Plus, I have queries about the presentation, how it's going to look, and it's a TV contest. It's got to look good. Who's going to vote for it if it doesn't? The UK staging has occasionally been questionable, in my opinion.
Well, I think we can agree on that one. And Liv, I think that was about a 5 from you, was it? Oh, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
a 5 on appeal for this one in Televote. Talk us through it.
Yeah, to be fair, in another year, this probably could have stood out and had a bit of appeal. But like when you're going to have a bit of a party year, this is a very sort of mid-tempo pop song. Like it's not banging, but it's there. And when you've got songs like Lithuania and Serbia that are going to be going out there and banging, it's sort of like, you know, if I want to get into an un-COVID-y party mood, I'm going to be voting for something that's going like all out rather than something that's just kind of there. So I don't think the 5 necessarily reflects quality, but the 5 is probably more likely what's going to happen is that there's just better pop songs in the contest this year, and it just is not going to be everyone's first choice for an upbeat banger type thing.
Yeah, look, I'll probably agree with that, particularly the tempo of the song. He did say he wanted to bring something up tempo and lively. He's done that, but you're right, it's not really a dance banger. For me, it's probably something you play towards the start of a party to get people shuffling along, and then you hit them with Serbia and something else later on. So I'm kind of going to agree. I think the word nice and pleasant gets used a fair bit with this one, and I've just got a feeling, again, not at the pointy end of televoters probably. They're probably going to go, oh, okay, UK were pretty good this year, but I don't know if I'll be throwing them that many votes. So I'll kind of agree. I gave it a 6. And again, little concerns about the presentation. All right, thanks for that, guys. Our scores, our average scores are now up on the screen for everyone to see. And let's have a quick talk. How do we think things are going to go for James in the competition? Let's start with you there, Kyriakos.
Okay, so is it going to be the UK's first top 10 in 12 years? Probably not. But I'm going to be optimistic. I would love to see it in the teens somewhere, definitely in the top 20. Yeah, I was the one that thought that Michael Rice was a definite top 10 back in 2019. What do I know? But I love the direction that the UK is going, and I really want them to keep going this way.
No, fair call, fair call. Let's go to you there, Steve. So what are your predictions here for the UK and their finish?
I think low teens, that 17, 18, 19 spot is realistically where it's going to end up. It could slip into 20. I just hope it doesn't get much lower than that. I think it deserves to be in that ballpark.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. And Liv, your predictions for the United Kingdom?
Steps in the right direction, lots of encouragement, but I think it's going to be bottom 5.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Look, I'm kind of in agreement with this as well. It's certainly not the worst song that's going to be presented on the night for sure. But for some reason, it's just not enough to grab votes. And we know the way Eurovision works. You've got to be in those top echelons or you just miss out. Doesn't matter if someone's 11th or someone's 26th, you're going to miss out. They equal exactly the same. So I'm a little bit the same. I reckon best case scenario, mid-teens. Worst case scenario, I think we're slipping into the bottom 5. All right, well, that's our point of view on UK. Let us know what you think on our socials, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks, guys.